State of war Karnataka in top gear. Big guns boom in poll-bound state. Shah's mega roadshow in Mysuru.
कर्नाटक की जनता इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है और पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार बनने जा रही है।
Rahul's Basavanna war cry. Countdown to mega political league. Big focus on 5 Live.
Century social reformer Basavanna is undoubtedly one of the greatest icons of this country. Poet, philosopher, statesman, reformer, and the patron figure of the Lingayat community, the dominant community of Karnataka. Anything said about him is not enough to describe Basavanna's greatness. But when you hear his name repeatedly being spoken in the headlines and at political rallies, you know that elections in Karnataka are only barely days away. It's less than 3 weeks to polling day in Karnataka, and that's the reason why the big fight today is all about Basavanna himself. I'm Shiv, just out of Karnataka. These are the headlines first. Amit Shah on the campaign trail in Karnataka holds mega roadshow in the Vokkaliga belt in Mysuru, speaks exclusively to India today, and nobody else dares the Congress to declare a Lingayat Chief Minister face.
इस बार हासन के अंदर हम 4 सीट जीतने जा रहे हैं और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि हासन की और कर्नाटक की जनता पूर्ण बहुमत का भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शासन लाएगी.
Big third front against Modi shaping up. Nitish Kumar and Tejashwi Yadav meet Bengal Chief Minister Mamta in Kolkata to lay out roadmap for the 2024 election.
हम लोग सब एक साथ में है. हम तो पहले से आप लोगों को कह चुका कि हमारा इसमें कोई ऐतराज नहीं है. हम चाहते हैं बीजेपी जीरो बन जाए. बहुत बड़ा हीरो बन गया कोई कुछ नहीं करके.
Prime Minister Modi's big Christian outreach in Kerala to meet church heads in Kochi shortly. The Prime Minister will also be unveiling big infrastructure projects in the state. After women wrestlers moved top court over filing of FIR against Brij Bhushan, wrestling body's elections put on hold. India launches Operation Kaveri to bring back stranded Indians from war-torn Sudan in North Africa. External Affairs Minister says committed to assisting all Indian citizens.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Co-powered by Jaguar. Discover the magic of smart lights.
Only days now to go for the Karnataka Assembly election. It's going to happen in a single phase on the 10th of May. But the political campaigning has just entered its most aggressive and ill-tempered phase, the slog-overs of this big campaign. BJP chief JP Nadda has kick-started his 3-day visit with a roadshow in Sidlaghatta today. JP Nadda has held a mega roadshow of strength in Sidlaghatta in Chikballapur district, followed by a temple visit in Uttara Kannada district. That's one of the big defining images of the day. Prime Minister Modi is all set to hold over 20 rallies in the lead up to the Karnataka Assembly polling day. It all starts very soon. He will be joined by other star campaigners, including Union Home Minister Amit Shah and UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The Karnataka campaign for the BJP moving into top gear. They will be highlighting how the Congress has failed to fulfill 2 major promises in Himachal Pradesh, its most recent electoral victory, and will be countering the 4 guarantees that the opposition Congress has been making in Karnataka regarding social issues. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is also in Karnataka and has kicked off a high-tempo rally war. The former Wayanad MP interacted with youth and sugarcane farmers in Gadag and Ramadurga district. He also held a Yuva Samvad in Gadag and addressed a public meeting in Hangal. His sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will be also campaigning in pole-bound Karnataka starting the 25th of April. She's all set to lead the campaign from Mysuru to Chamarajanagar in South Karnataka. Now, the old Mysuru region has been something that has perplexed the BJP for a long time because it has simply failed to make any meaningful inroads there. The old Mysuru region is seen as a stronghold of the JDS, the smallest of the three parties in the battlefield that is Karnataka. Well, now, weeks ahead of the Karnataka polling day, political campaigns are in full swing in the state, especially in the old Mysuru region. The Congress and the BJP's bigwigs will be in the state of war, holding big political rallies that kicked off today. The BJP's top election machinery manager, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, along with National Party Chief JP Nadda, have been holding road shows today. Amit Shah held this huge road show that you're about to look at in Hassan district of Karnataka. That's the heartland of the Gaudas of the JDS, the Gauda family. This is where he launched scathing attacks not just at the Congress party but also the JDS, accusing especially the Congress party of being totally corrupt and hypocritical, because remember, the Congress party has made its own election plank against the BJP almost uniformly about corruption. Amit Shah, who arrived in Mysuru earlier, offered special prayers at the Chamundeshwari temple and held a huge roadshow in Gundlupet and Sakleshpur constituencies. Meanwhile, JP Nadda will hold a roadshow in Sidlaghatta in Chikballapur district, followed by a visit to the Sirsi area in Uttar Kannada district. Take a look.
Joining me now is the Union Home Minister of India, Mr. Amit Shah, who's campaigning here in Sakleshpura Assembly constituency. Amit Shah जी, आप हासन आए हैं। लास्ट बार इसी सीट में 5,000 के वोट के अंदर आप हारे थे। इस बार कैसा माहौल है सर?
आप ही देख लीजिए, माहौल पूरा रोड भरा हुआ है हमारे प्रत्याशी के समर्थन में, और प्रीतम गौड़ा भी बहुत मजबूती के साथ जीतेगा। इस बार हासन के अंदर हम 4 सीट जीतने जा रहे हैं, हमें पक्का भरोसा है। जेडीएस फैमिली आपको बोलते हैं, अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट भी आ जाए, रशियन प्रेसिडेंट भी आ जाए, इस जिले का लोग जेडीएस के साथ है। ये उनका अहंकार है। लोकतंत्र में कभी एक परिवार का शासन नहीं चल सकता। जनता ये स्वीकार कर रही है और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि हासन की और कर्नाटक की जनता पूर्ण बहुमत का भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शासन लाएगी।
सर, ओल्ड मैसूर रीजन में आपका इस बार बहुत ज्यादा कंसंट्रेशन है सर, क्या एक स्ट्रैटेजी है कि हैदराबाद कर्नाटक के अलावा ओल्ड मैसूर भी आपका स्ट्रांग होल्ड है?
निश्चित रूप से इस बार ओल्ड मैसूर रीजन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बड़ा विजय मिलेगा। अभी आके मैं एक रोड शो कर आया, इसके विजुअल देख लीजिए। अगर रोड शो में 50,000 से ज्यादा लोग अगर आते हैं तो वो सीट निश्चित रूप से हम जीत सकते।
सर, ऑल्सो कांग्रेस की जो नेता जो है वो चैलेंज कर रहे हैं कि अगर बीजेपी की ताकत हो तो एक लिंगायत अगला मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा, इसे डिक्लेयर करने के लिए बीजेपी का सवाल है।
बीजेपी का तो मुख्यमंत्री लिंगायत है ही, कांग्रेस जरा घोषणा करे, उनको घोषणा करनी है। उन्होंने हमेशा लिंगायतों का अपमान किया है, चाहे वीरप्पा मोइली हो चाहे निगलिन गप्पा हो।
सर, आखिरी 2 सवाल सर, आने वाले 10 दिन में आपकी क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होगी? ये सुनने हमें आ रहा है कि आप इधर ही रहेंगे, हर दिन रोड शो करेंगे।
देखिए, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में कर्नाटक की जनता डबल इंजन सरकार चाहती है और कर्नाटक का सर्वांगीण विकास एक परिवारवादी और जातिवादी पार्टियां नहीं कर सकती है, केवल और केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर सकती है। मोदी जी की सरकार ने पीएफआई पर बैन लगाकर कर्नाटक में सुरक्षा का स्पष्ट संदेश दिया है। कर्नाटक की जनता इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है और पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार बनने जा रही है।
Now, we're talking about the old Mysuru region. That's where Hassan is seen as the cornerstone and the backyard of the Gowda family, the JDS. But this is where the BJP has its biggest ambitions. Let's decode the old Mysuru region of Karnataka first for you, so you have a total understanding of what this battlefield really looks like. It has 64 assembly seats, and this is the Vokkalega belt, considered, like I said, a JDS and a Congress stronghold. In the 2018 election, that was the previous election in Karnataka, out of the 64 assembly seats in the old Mysuru region, the JDS won 26, the Congress won 20, and the BJP won 16. In this election, the BJP is making, as you saw with Mr. Amit Shah, a very concerted effort to change the situation in old Mysuru and do better than it has in previous elections. So 26, 20 and 16 is that ratio between the three big parties. But Amit Shah is looking to totally turn that ratio on its head, because they believe it is key to the BJP's electoral performance in this election. And remember, it is already fighting a big anti-incumbency. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is live with me from the Hassan Bengaluru highway. He's the journalist who scored that super exclusive interview with the Union Home Minister. Nobody else has spoken to the Home Minister today, and that tells you everything about the seriousness with which India today is taken in Karnataka. Naga, the old Mysuru region, Hassan, is practically the Devegowda's backyard. It doesn't get more ambitious than this. This is, very much in keeping with the BJP taking on perhaps its biggest challenge, which is to take the 16 seats that it won in old Mysuru the last time and go way past that number, because it feels that is key to its performance.
That's true, Shiv. In fact, every time the party has done well, they have not got a majority. The last time, 2008, they reached almost close to majority, 110. Since then, they have not got the majority as well. What they feel in the strategy room is, in the drawing room, is that it is the old Mysore region only that can help them cross the halfway mark. They are quite strong in coastal Karnataka, central Bombay Karnataka and Hyderabad Karnataka. Yet, they are unable to reach the 113 mark, and 10 seats from the old Mysore region will give them the last push to cross the halfway mark, is what they feel, and hence they have put all their might behind the old Mysore region in the 4 districts, at least hoping to get 10 seats. You have also seen, to create a perception, they have fielded Vokaliga strongholds from the BJP against DK Shivkumar, as well as Siddaramaiah in Mysore and Ramnagara as well. So there is also creating a perception that the party has taken this region quite seriously. Vokaliga have got the 2% reservation in the recent times. All this push that they have done, including the statue in the Bangalore airport. If you get out of the Bangalore airport, you will see the large Kempegowda statue. All this to woo the community, to consolidate the community, because they feel that old Mysore region, 10 to 15 seats, will considerably push them away from the halfway mark, like crossing the halfway mark, 113, which the BJP has never done till now.
Very, very interesting. And that's what that mathematics is all about. It's an audacious dream to conquer the old Mysuru region and wrest it from the hands of the JDS and the Congress, which have been traditional controllers of the, most of the 64 seats in that area. So we'll have to see how this one goes. Certainly no lack of effort being put in by the BJP. Thanks very much, Nagarjun, for getting us that. Also, that big exclusive interview with Amit Shah. Now, one of the towering figures of Karnataka that we were talking about. You heard Nagarjun refer to Kempegowda, the big founder in many ways of the city of Bengaluru, as well as one of the most towering, most respected figures, especially of the Vokaliga community. And then you have Basavanna, or Basaveshwara, the 12th century statesman, philosopher, poet, social reformer, who is the big figure of the Lingayat community, but widely worshipped and respected all across Karnataka. Well, Lingayat politics has escalated now because we're so close to the elections. What else? In an effort to boost its Lingayat outreach, something which it has significantly lacked election after election, the Congress, through its leader Rahul Gandhi, today paid special tribute to the Lingayat social reformer Basavanna, invoking Basavanna's philosophy to target the incumbent BJP, the Saffron Party is asking, what does Rahul really know about the Karnataka icon?
Soon after being evicted from his MP bungalow in Delhi, Rahul Gandhi hit the campaign trail in Karnataka, and he chose the birth anniversary of Lingayat social reformer Basavanna to do it. Rahul visited Kudala Sangama in Bagalkot and hailed Basavanna for daring to speak the truth.
प्रधानमंत्री जी और बीजेपी के नेता बसवा जी की बात करते हैं, मगर फिर बसवा जी ने जो कहा था वो नहीं करते। बसवरा जी ने कहा था कि समाज में जो कमजोर लोग हैं उनकी मदद करनी चाहिए। मैंने बसवरा जी की सोच पढ़ी है, उन्होंने कहीं नहीं लिखा कि देश के धन को अदानी जी को दिलवा दो।
He also invoked Basavanna's philosophy to target the BJP on democracy.
कुछ ही दिनों में कर्नाटक में चुनाव आ रहा है और हमें याद रखना चाहिए कि जो लोकतंत्र का आइडिया है, लोकतंत्र की नींव है, वो सबसे पहले बसवना जी ने रखी थी। लोकसभा, राज्यसभा हो, चाहे हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हो, उसकी नींव बसवना जी की सोच ने रखी।
Lingayats make 17% of Karnataka's population and have traditionally voted for the BJP. But this time the Congress, that's already bagged two BJP Lingayat faces, former CM Jagdish Shettar and former Deputy CM Lakshman Savdi, is vying for the Lingayat pie too. Rahul Gandhi's Lingayat outreach though has the BJP fuming.
ತಲೆ ತಿರುಗಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ವೀರಶೈವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿಗೆ? ತತ್ವ, ನೀತಿ, ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ, ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿಗೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಈಗೇನೋ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹುಚ್ಚುಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಧಾನಿಯವ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಯಾವ ಲೆಕ್ಕ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ನಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಅವನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನವ್ರಿಗೂ ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
इसलिए मैं वापस राहुल गांधी जी को पूछता हूँ, बसवेश्वर के बारे में आपको क्या जानकारी है? बसवेश्वर ने सभी समाज को एक साथ लेके जाने का वादा किया था एंड किया भी है, स्वतः किया है। एंड आप एक धर्म के लिए ज्यादा काम करने वाले हैं। वोट बैंक राजनीति आप किया है।
The fight for Karnataka is in its most critical phase. Kannada pride and its icons will continue to be one of the hot button issues till the state votes. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the BJP's caste outreach, let's just tell you a little bit about it to describe for you what all actions are being taken by the incumbent BJP in Karnataka. And remember, as far as caste goes, Karnataka typifies elections that are based on community and caste. Now, Kempe Gowda, like I said, is a Vokkaliga icon. The Vokkaliga vote is about 11%. Vokkaligas usually support the JDS, even though a large section does support the Congress as well. Then you've got Kanakadasa, who's a Kuruba icon. Kuruba is the community to which Siddaramaiah, former Chief Minister from the Congress party, belongs. They account for 7% of the electorate in Karnataka. The Kurubas usually support the Congress party. Siddaramaiah has ensured that. Then you've got Valmiki. Valmiki Nayaka is a Nayaka icon. 5% are classified as scheduled tribes. 46% voted for the Congress. Huge chunk voted for the Congress in the last election in 2018. Onake Obava is a Dalit icon. Remember, the Dalit vote in Karnataka is also sizable, 20%. In the 2018 election, 48%, nearly half of all Dalits voted for the Congress party. So the fault lines are very, very clear. The war over Karnataka's icons becomes more and more pronounced with each passing day as you get closer to this election. And therefore, names like Kempe Gowda, Kanakadasa and now Basavanna will become something you will hear repeatedly in the run-up to polling day on the 10th of May. Let's debate now. We've got with us on the show, Dr. Sudha Halka is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Dhruv Jatti is spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress Party. I'd like to go to Dr. Sudha first. Ma'am, your party is attacking Rahul Gandhi for invoking Basavanna and Basavanna's teachings to attack the Bommai government and the BJP in Karnataka. What is wrong with invoking Basavanna?
Very good evening. I would like to tell that he has pointed out 3 points. One is regarding Lingayats and what our government has done towards minorities, and one is democracy. So first, let me start with the minorities. My party is the one which has given the reservations to the SC, increased the reservations to the SC community, to the ST community, and giving the right certificates to the Banjara Tandas. 52,000 right certificates were given to the Banjara Tandas, and it was a Guinness Book record, which the Congress or the Janata JDS has not done in all these years.
Ma'am, we'll widen the discussion after a point, but I want to focus it on Basavanna for a moment because it has become an emotive issue in Karnataka. Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly invoked the name of Basavanna to attack the BJP at this point of time. He said that the teachings of Basavanna have been betrayed by the BJP and the incumbent government. How do you respond to that? Because this is Basavanna, who is the patron figure of the Lingayat community.
Yeah, it is not only Lingayat community. His preachings are famous throughout the world.
Absolutely.
What Basavanna has told is we have to treat each and every person, irrespective of the caste and creed. We have to treat them equally. So our motive also is the same: sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas, and sabka vishwas. So we have gone with this. When we are giving the facilities to all the people of India, we have not demarcated or we have not got any of the caste and separated it. The facilities were given to each and every person. Okay, and he has told that we shouldn't lie, and we should have a transparency. Our government is the one who has given the maximum transparency, where even the World Bank and other 82 countries are asking how you could have done this with the digital transactions. Like how was it possible to reach to so many 29 lakh crore rupees has been reached to crores of people in India. And take it Karnataka, 42 toilets were built, and more than 42 lakh crores drinking water facilities have been given. I know, I'm just telling you. They talk about transparency. Okay, yesterday one more Congress person was talking about transparency.
Let's not dilute it too much. I want to keep it as focused as possible because we have limited time.
Okay, we Lingayats.
Let me bring Dhruv in. Let me bring Dhruv in.
Community head over here.
Dr. Sudha, I'll come back to you. You've had enough time. I'll come back to you right after this. Dhruv, Basavanna is, he does not figure in the political sort of conversation throughout 4 years, and suddenly we hear the names of Basavanna and Basaveshwara, which is the same thing, constantly ring out from all these rallies. Rahul Gandhi has fired the first few shots because the Lingayat issue has become a very emotive issue, and especially so this time.
That's because it was Basaveshwara Jayanti yesterday, and I'd like to take this moment to wish you on this belated and proud occasion for all Karnatakas. To start with, in the early 90s, the Lingayats were an integral part of the forefront of the freedom fighting, and then they began to become a prominent part in the mid-90s of the Congress Party. We had 4 chief ministers from the Lingayat community: S. Nijlingappa, my great-grandfather Shri Jatti, S.R. Kanti, and then Virendra Patil. In the late 90s, you had the Lingayat community that went on to become more socio-economically powerful, and naturally they then bifurcated to different parties and went on to get into the Janata Party and then the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
But this is something that we can't change, right? That is the history which BJP tends to ignore, and something that we all need to know. And it's a serious matter of fact. The Lingayat community is no political party's vote bank, right? And that's something
that has practically been that way. Dhruv, it has practically been that way for the last few elections. One cannot ignore the arithmetic as far as the, vote itself is concerned. And the BJP projects that the Lingayats have never been with the Congress ever since Rajiv Gandhi dismissed a Lingayat chief minister. And that is the reason why the Congress constantly needs to invoke Basavanna, especially in this election.
Shiv, I don't think that's true, because it's wrong to say that the Congress party, doesn't have the support of Lingayats. I'll give you a simple example. Whether it's Kittur, Karnataka, we have a tall leader, Mr. M.B. Patil. Whether it's Kalyan, Karnataka, we have a tall leader, Mr. Ishwar Khandre. And whether it's Central Karnataka, we have a tall Lingayat leader, Mr. Shamnoor Shivshakarappa. To also let you know, the latter two, Ishwar Khandre and Mr. Shamnoor Shivshakarappa, hold very tall positions in the All India Veerashaiva Lingayat Mahasabha, a very prominent community organization, right? So this is in fact the gist of it, because the Congress party all throughout history has been in the forefront of supporting Lingayats. Whether it was even my great-grandfather who from Panchayati went on to become the president of India. Has that ever happened in the Bharatiya Janata Party? Has Lingayat ever grown out of the union government? That's not true. It was Indira Gandhi's dream to empower the Lingayat community, and that's what happened. And historically, those are facts. The Bharatiya Janata Party cannot deny it.
The very same things were said in the 2018. Coming to you, Dr. Sudha, the very exact same things were said about Basavanna. In rallies in the 2018 election, and I was there for 50 days. So believe me, I know that this is an echo of what happened that time. But one thing has changed, and I know both of you know what I'm talking about. The one thing that has changed is that the BJP is now like explicitly challenging the Congress. Dr. Sudha, that has become your weapon now. Amit Shah also said it in his interview to us. He says, we challenge, the BJP challenges the Congress to name a Lingayat chief minister face. Is that the weapon you're going with to hit back at Rahul Gandhi?
Shiv, just I would like to go back to the history. Since Rajiv Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi, let me tell you, Rajiv Gandhi was the one who just dismissed Virendra Patil's government. You know, they had the highest Lingayat candidates in that government, and he's the one who dismissed that. After that, there is no Lingayat CM from Congress, and my party has made 3 Lingayat CMs. Let me tell you, Jagdish Shetterji, Yediyurappa ji, and Basavaraj Bommai ji. These people, they only come up with name of Siddaramaiah and with D.K. Shivkumar ji. We are talking about present, okay? So they are not even once they're talking about Shamnoor Shivshakarappa ji. He is there since many years in the Congress. He is talking about Ishwar Khandre ji. They are not taking his name. I know they are from Akhil Bharatiya Veerashaiva Lingayat Mahasabha. Even I'm the women's district president over there. Why aren't their name is being taken there as a CM candidate? Even I have been telling this repeatedly in n number of debates, Shiv, that let them come up with a Lingayat CM's name for the
is that a source of
still they're not playing. They're not coming up with that. Why is that? And they want to talk about Lingayats and they want to talk about Basavanna and all.
Dhruv, is that
what every
how is the Congress?
Every Lingayat people will understand.
Look, you know, in a political crossfire, you will always hear challenges and, defiant questions of this kind. But is this one particularly uncomfortable this time, Dhruv? And this is not a loaded question, because at this point, the Congress, as far as narrative is concerned, it seems to have the advantage. You know, Jagdish Shettar, Lakshman Savadi have crossed over to the Congress side. The Congress has portrayed that the Lingayats are kind of ditching the BJP and crossing over. But now the BJP comes up with this kind of yorker and says, if you are so confident about the Lingayats, then why don't you go the distance and name a Lingayat chief ministerial face?
Shiv, I don't think it's a yorker. I think the BJP has just been bowling no balls to the people of Karnataka ever since. They're not even campaigning on the, on the projection of development. They're campaigning straight on caste. That's because they know that the people of Karnataka, it's more or less, it's clear that the BJP is on the back foot on the whole. And let me remind you, it was Mr. Siddaramaiah's government that made sure that Basavanna's photo is mandatory in every single government office. It was Mr. Siddaramaiah's government that, in fact, sanctioned 500 crores for the Anubhava Mantapa. They also went on to name the Mahila University in Bijapur after Akka Mahadevi. In what sense does anybody, in fact, even the BJP, think that the Lingayats don't support the Congress? That's wrong. That's wrong, in fact. And let me remind you that the Lingayats are one of the smartest communities in the state. And what's going to happen this time is that they're going to vote for development, they're going to vote for progressive governance, and they're going to vote for a party that assures them what I would say religious harmony, unlike a party like the Bharatiya Janata Party that continues speaking about, breaking the society together and self-destruction of the state.
Dr. Sudha, would you want to respond to that? Because the Congress is basically saying, just to sum up what he said, the Congress says that the BJP has no issues. It doesn't have anything substantive to fight on, and therefore it's picking up these emotive issues and making it seem like they are in control of the Lingayat community when they are not. That's what the Congress is saying.
Sure, I can tell you there is a complete gap. Matlab, from past 60 to 70 years of governance to past 8 years of what we have done, there is, we have done the work more 4 to 5 times better than the past 50 years. So this itself is the proof what we have done. Second thing, he's talking about the caste politics. Siddaramaiah is the one who has told n number of times openly that he is against Hinduism. We Lingayats we are Hindus. Basically, this land is Hindustan's shoe. This is the very soil
That's
of
the
this
wrong
is
statement.
Hindusm and Hindustan. Okay, yeah, huh? No, it's not a wrong statement. Let me tell you, Siddaramaiah ji has told n number. He has told.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
He's
If that
against
is the case,
Hindus.
then why was he at the forefront of installing Basavanna's photos in every single government office? Please tell me.
Then why did he give this statement? Why did he
There's
give
no
this
such
statement?
statement that has been given by Siddaramaiah ji. This is just a narrative that
appeasement
the Bharatiya
politics.
Janata Party
appeasement
keeps.
politics. There is an
Appeasement politics and populism politics is something that is cooked up by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ma'am, what you've given us is egg scam. You've given us PSI scam.
160 cases. 160
You have given us
cases
N
have
number
been
of scams
cancelled.
put together.
1,500 people have been.
You're the reason why your own
115,
party cadre,
115
had
people
to
have
commit
been.
suicide.
115
Santosh
people
Patil,
have been
Okay, okay.
removed from the PFI. Why
Okay,
did the powers of Lokayukta be stanched from the Siddaramaiah's government?
I'm
Why
going
did
to-
number of
I'm out of time.
Santosh Patil
Siddaramaiah's government.
in his suicide note.
I'm out of time. Dr. Sudha and Dhruv. But I just wanted to say that I've just returned from Bengaluru. I'm going to be back there next week. I'm going to be staying there till the end of the elections. It's going to be a very exciting one. The mood on the ground, the sense I got, from the brief period I spent over there. And I met the both of you as well, which was very nice. And I will again next week when I'm there. Looking forward to it. Whether it is Basavanna, whether it is corruption, whether it is potholes, whether it is, hijab, whatever it is. We're going to look at all those issues.
Look forward to development, not
and
corruption.
on India Today. Well, the point is, India Today would love it if the narrative was only about development, but sadly it is not. And I don't think any one party can be to
BJP
blame
is
for that.
only talking about
all
development,
parties are
development,
talking
and
about all
development.
different things. But we will leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much for your time, Dhruv and Dr. Sudha, for joining me on debate number 1 here on 5 Live. Meanwhile, like I mentioned, the hijab row is how 2022 began in Karnataka. It became one of the most polarizing issues and continues to be this election season in Karnataka. While all political parties are trying to gain mileage from the issue, an 18-year-old student has emerged as the face of young new India. When the Karnataka government banned hijab in educational institutions last year, Tabassum Sheikh had to make a choice to adhere to her faith or to continue with her education. But Tabassum chose the latter and has emerged as a topper in the arts stream of her second pre-university exams. That's class 12. Speaking exclusively to India Today, young Tabassum shared her experience of what she had to go through during the hijab row in Karnataka. She also says that her parents encouraged her to comply with the verdict. She emphasized that her parents asked her to focus on her education in order to avoid any such injustice in future. Take a look.
Tabassum, first of all, hearty congratulations on your achievement. A huge win indeed. So tell us a bit about your preparation and how it was for you.
Thank you so much for your kind wishes. And as for my preparation, I started on the very first day of college itself. I went to the library and I collected the previous year question papers, and I compared those papers to figure out which are the most frequently asked questions, and I paid more attention to those. Paid more attention to those questions, and I prepared them thoroughly. Other than that, I used to meticulously take notes, and I used to color code my notes as well. I would note down all the important points in class, and then I'd come back home and I would revise it. And another strategy which I used is that I felt that when I narrated whatever was taught in my own mother tongue, I was able to retain it for a longer time. So whatever was taught in college in English, I used to come back home and I used to tell my mom all about it in Urdu. So that helped me to really retain that information. So that is another strategy which I used. As for how long I used to study, I used to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I feel really fresh and rejuvenated after a good night's rest, and that's when I would start studying, and I would study up till 8 o'clock. And then obviously at 9:30 I have college, so I have to get ready for that, and then I'd come back and I would revise my notes. So it was almost 6 to 8 hours of study daily, and Other than that,
Tabassum, tell us a bit about, as a student and at such a young age, I'm sure there would have been immense pressure on your head. So what were the challenges that you had to go through?
there was actually not a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. Like my parents, especially, they created a very warm and supportive environment at home. They knew I had potential, and they knew that I had the means to realize it as well. So they would always encourage me to be stress-free, tension-free, and to give it my best shot. And yes, in college, when you're doing well, the teachers have a lot of expectations from you, but I tried to keep that aside. But still, I used to overthink and overwork myself, and I have a migraine problem, so I used to get headaches very frequently, and the only solution to that was getting a proper 8 hours of sleep. So that was one thing, but somehow I was able to cope with all of that and prepare.
Talking about mental health, I'm sure you would have gone through a lot of challenges around the year 2020 or 2021 when the whole hijab controversy happened. So tell us a bit about how you dealt with it.
It was a period of uncertainty. I was very confused and depressed because, like I said, because the hijab is an integral part of my identity and also my religion. But first, it is a part of my identity, right? It is something which I've been wearing the hijab since I was 5. So it was very difficult for me to give it up, and I didn't want to. It's a secular country. I should be allowed to wear my hijab while I pursue my education. So it felt very unfair, very unjust, and when the verdict came out, my parents, they encouraged me to comply with the orders, and I did not attend college for 2 weeks because I was very confused about what I should do. But my parents said that if I was able to acquire an education, then I could get to a position where I could prevent such injustices from happening in the future. So that was my main motive for continuing to attend college.
And coming up next, we're moving from Karnataka to Kerala, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi has begun a big Christian outreach in God's own country. He will be meeting the heads of many churches in the beautiful city of Kochi very shortly and will be unveiling big infrastructure projects. That's next.
Do you smoke very often? Do you feel restlessness without it? Are you hooked to smokeless tobacco or chewing tobacco? What is it about tobacco that makes it addictive? Tobacco products are addictive because they contain nicotine. Nicotine keeps people using tobacco products even when they want to stop. Nicotine is a highly addictive chemical compound present in a tobacco plant. All tobacco products contain nicotine, such as cigarettes, cigars, smokeless tobacco, hookah tobacco, and most e-cigarettes. Nicotine is what keeps people using tobacco products. Nicotine causes the release of dopamine in the brain, which gives people a good feeling. Over time, the brain begins to crave that feeling from nicotine, and people need to use more and more tobacco to get that same good feeling. It's the thousands of chemicals contained in tobacco and tobacco smoke that makes tobacco use so deadly. This toxic mix of chemicals, not nicotine, causes serious health effects, including fatal lung diseases and cancer. Some of these chemicals, known to cause lung damage, was also found in some e-cigarette aerosols. According to the American Lung Association, there is a 3-link chain of physical, social, and mental components to smoking addiction. Smokers have a better chance of quitting and staying smoke-free if they address all 3 parts of the chain. First, physical. Smokers also build up a tolerance and physical dependence on nicotine, meaning they have to smoke more to feel the same effect. Talk to a healthcare provider about quit smoking medications that can help with these symptoms. The second is mental. The act of smoking is often a part
पहचान गए हैं? बोल नहीं सकते।
Look at this Sarah's screen, jumping with immense joy after meeting its friend after a hiatus. The bird spread its wings, tried to find a way out of the space to meet Mohammed Arif while he was patiently standing outside the bird's enclosure, eagerly waiting to meet. The Sarah screen was found by Arif in August 2022 in an unconscious state, lying injured and bleeding. Arif rescued this endangered bird and nursed it back to health. Soon after, the bird began following Arif everywhere, wherever he would go and whatever he would do. But Arif's friendship with crane suffered a jolt when the forest department said that keeping the bird was illegal. The officials took the bird away to Kanpur Zoo.
उसे आज़ाद कर दिया जाए। वो किसी भी जो है जो पक्षी विहार होता है जहाँ अपनी आज़ादी से पंछी रहते हैं वहीं उसको जाके ट्रांसफ़र कर दिया जाए तो जैसे पहले रहता था वैसे रहने लगे।
This beautiful and heartwarming story proves that true love really knows no bounds. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
India's only democratic newsroom does it again. Amidst India's most fiercely fought election, warriors from all sides on a single stage. From the title defenders
70 साल में क्यों टॉयलेट नहीं मिला, क्यों घर नहीं मिला, क्यों लाइट नहीं मिली,
to the charging challengers.
You are asking us 70 साल में तुमने क्या किया? हमने यही किया, डेमोक्रेसी को बचा के रखा और आपको प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनाया।
No voice ignored.
For the first time, BJP is going beyond the boundaries.
No voice silenced.
Karnataka has been made the corruption capital of this country. What did Modi do?
This crossfire defines our credibility. India Today, the gold standard of journalism.
Prime Minister Modi has just arrived in Kochi in Kerala. Big roadshow is about to kick off in the city. The Prime Minister will be visiting the Sacred Heart College grounds as part of this big roadshow. Security has been tightened all along the route in Kochi, with over 2,000 police personnel being deployed in the city. At the Sacred Heart College ground, the Prime Minister will address a public meeting and also interact with youth as part of the Yuvam 2023 program. The Prime Minister is on a 2-day visit to Kerala. He will be flagging off the country's first water metro service connecting Kochi's island to the mainland. This is a one-of-its-kind project that will provide safe and affordable, pocket-friendly travel for people in and around Kochi, and also be boosting tourism. These are live images. On the right-hand side, the roadshow about to kick off. On the left, the Prime Minister very much in local attire. These images are just out of his arrival in the city of Kochi. The roads are lined on either side by supporters. The agenda in Kerala is extensive. There is a big outreach to the Christian community.
अपने वाहन से उतरकर सड़क पर
Here's the Prime Minister now, walking along the road in Kochi, waving to locals. Dressed in a
प्रधानमंत्री की वेशभूषा है उस पर भी आप ध्यान दे सकते हैं। ये वेशभूषा भी केरल के परिधान धारण कर रखे हैं प्रधानमंत्री ने, उसी तरह से एक उत्तरीय और रेशमी किनारे की धोती कुर्ते के साथ।
Prime Minister Modi dressed in a kurta and a mund, very much in keeping with local tradition, also an angavastram around his neck, waving to the locals on either side who've lined the streets of Kochi to welcome him. A big road show. There's no election in Kerala at this time, no big election certainly in Kerala at this time, but the Prime Minister in the state very much as part of an outreach in a state that the BJP has big ambitions in. Lots of fervor, lots of excitement as the Prime Minister waves to all in the crowd. He will be headed to the Sacred Heart College grounds later for a big outreach with youth and the Christian community. Let's get some sound in from the ground.
फूलों की बारिश कर रहे हैं लोग प्रधानमंत्री के ऊपर, और इस जो भीड़ उमड़ी है हजारों हजार की संख्या में, उसमें महिलाएं हैं, बच्चे हैं, पुरुष महिला बूढ़े जवान सभी शामिल हैं। प्रधानमंत्री के एक झलक पाने के लिए लोगों का हुजूम उमड़ पड़ा है केरल के कोच्चि में।
In India today is Shiv Aroor, our correspondent on the ground in Kochi. But I want to keep the sound up, so our viewers can really get a sense of what the atmosphere is like before I go to Shiv Aroor. Shibi, just take us through what we're looking at right now. Where is this road that the Prime Minister is walking, and what is the agenda?
प्रिय प्रधानमंत्री की एक झलक पाने के लिए।
Okay, I don't think Shiv Aroor can hear me. Obviously, she's in the crowd there. So I'm going to try and connect with her in just a moment. This is the Prime Minister's big namaskaram in Kerala. Showers of petals being thrown at the Prime Minister, surrounded by the Special Protection Group. His convoy itself is behind him. This is more of a padayatra than a convoy or a road show, really. The Prime Minister choosing not to sit in his car, but actually walk down that road. Obviously, security is tight, but the Prime Minister choosing to walk himself. He's fully visible in his local attire, and certainly a choice being made to be there in person and not sitting in his bulletproof vehicle. Shibi Mall is with me live. I hope you can hear me, Shibi. Big crowds there for Prime Minister. Take us through what you're seeing. Where is the Prime Minister headed? Take us through the mood on the ground right now.
Well, Shiv, the mood here is, the people here are so excited to meet Prime Minister. In fact, before his arrival, many hours before itself, people in large numbers it's very hot in Kerala, but still a lot of people had come here many hours before itself to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In fact, right now it was informed that it will be a road show, but he actually walked, and he's walking to the next location which is the Sacred Hearts College in Tevara in Kochi, where he will interact with the young voters. There are a lot of students from different colleges across the state that has come there, where he will address the young, the youth of the state, where he'll discuss with the development projects and everything. In fact, this can be unofficial.
Okay, lots of security there where Shibi is reporting from. So we'll get back to her in just a moment. Apologies to our viewers for that audio interruption. But as you can imagine, this is a very, very tight security event that we're covering in Kochi, Kerala at this point. So there are going to be some issues, but our cameras are going to be unwavering. We've got this live camera shot of the Prime Minister walking down that road. It's a mini padayatra of sorts in God's own country. The Prime Minister cutting a very, very local figure. A very, very local figure as he walks down the streets of Kochi. Shibi, sorry for that. You were interrupted for a moment there. But the Prime Minister, dressed in a mund, very much cutting a local figure as he electrifies these crowds in Kochi. Take us through what you're seeing.
Well, absolutely, Shiv. Like I was just mentioning before, a lot of people who had come here much before Prime Minister's arrival, all excited. They were playing drums and just celebrating this, because we can just unofficially call this as the BJP in Kerala kick-starting their campaign for the general election next year, because they have, as we remember, after the Northeast elections, Prime Minister had said that, like in Goa and Meghalaya, in Kerala also BJP will go on to form a government, and that's exactly what the BJP leadership in Kerala was also trying after after Prime Minister's speech. They went out, they reached out to the minorities in the state, they met them, they had discussions with them. In fact, today Prime Minister will also hold discussions with various bishops and Christian religious leaders here. So, we can call it, they're very hopeful that next year there will be a major, as we know, Kerala doesn't have a BJP representative in the Lok Sabha, but they're very sure, especially the people. In fact, I'll get some voices from the people here on ground. Chat up, Prime Minister and Pradesh and the PM visit. Okay, so basically they're saying that we've seen a lot of development under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the last 9 years, and that's exactly what we need in the coming years. Also in Kerala also we need that, and we're very sure that this visit will kickstart that change, and in the coming election in the coming election we are going to come back. BJP is going to form a government in the coming years. They're very hopeful, and this is just a beginning is what the people are saying. In fact, too many people. I'll get more voices from the ground. PM
കറക്റ്റ് മലയാളിയായിട്ടല്ലേ വന്നത്. ഇതിൽ പറയാൻ എന്താ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടാനുള്ളത്? കേരളത്തിന് വളരെ സൂപ്പറായിരുന്നു, ഉഷാറായിരുന്നു. മലയാളികളെല്ലാം സന്തോഷത്തിലാണ്. കേരളത്തിന്റെ വികസനത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അദ്ദേഹം ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയുന്നത് എല്ലാം ചെയ്യുമെന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും.
Okay, so they're very excited that PM actually dressed up in like a proper Malayali. He understood the feel and the connect with the Malayalis.
Yeah.
And, he walked on the road, met the people. So they're very excited, and they're saying that development is what they're looking forward to. And Prime Minister is the one who is going to bring development to Kerala also is what. So we can say that the Modi magic is, exciting the people here, and they're hopeful that, the BJP is going to come out successful in the coming years, Shiv.
Very interesting also, Shibi, this whole outreach to the Christian community, and other communities in Kerala, which are very specifically being undertaken by the Prime Minister himself. It's not the state machinery that is of the BJP that is doing it. The Prime Minister has made it a personal mission to be there to meet with community leaders.
Well, exactly, Shiv. We have to say that, because after the Northeast election, like I was mentioning, the first thing he said was, we formed governments in Goa and Meghalaya. Similarly, we are going to form a government in Kerala. And with that statement, he was making it very evident that this is a reach out to the Christian minority in Kerala, because the Hindu vote bank, of course, is not a BJP stronghold in Kerala, because it's a CPIM stronghold. And of course, they have 15% vote share in Kerala, which includes the Hindu vote bank. And they're hopeful that with the Christian minorities support, with the Christian community support, they will be able to increase their vote share. And yesterday, BJP State President K. Surendran was saying that it might take some time to reach out to the Muslim minorities in the state, especially the North Kerala region. But the Christian minority, of course, they will see what has happened in Goa and Meghalaya. Similarly, they will follow the path of development is what the BJP is hopeful. In fact, this has caused a major concern for the Congress here, because it's the Christian population is concentrated in the central region of Kerala, which is a very strong Congress, which is a very strong Congress, Congress vote bank. So of course, the Congress has planned to find an alternative. They've launched an alternative project called Yuva itself, in which they will be taking, similarly like how Prime Minister is taking out time to meet the youth voters, young voters of the state. The Congress has also announced a similar program in which Rahul Gandhi next month will be coming to Kerala in Kochi itself, where he will also meet young voters. So the Congress and the CPIM on field, they have taken this seriously, is what we are understanding, and they're also meeting the bishops who have always been the support and the stronghold, strong vote bank of the Congress is.
वो हाथ हिलाकर प्रधानमंत्री का स्वागत कर रहे हैं.
You know, these images are incredible. The Prime Minister in his element, the BJP really sort of reveling in the imagery of their one true Brahmastra, the Prime Minister himself in Kerala at this point of time. Non-stop shower of petals in Kerala, in Kochi, beautiful coastal city. Lots of infrastructure projects to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister very, very shortly. And then, in typical fashion, a big outreach element with youth and the Christian community in Kerala. Remember, the big election at this point of time is happening in neighboring Karnataka. The Prime Minister will be kicking off his big series of rallies in Karnataka very, very shortly. But for today and tomorrow, the Prime Minister, all his time, his energy and focus will be for God's own country, and that is Kerala. And that is the road show that you're looking at right now. Shibi, this road that the Prime Minister is walking on, it was basically a Padayatra. Now he's gotten onto the foot rest of the car itself. He's going to get into that vehicle. Where is he going to head next? What's on the agenda for today?
So Shiv, today he has gone straight to the Sacred Heart College in Tevara, where he will he'll participate in the Yuvam Conclave, which is an interaction with young voters of the state. A lot of college students have come there in large numbers, where he'll address their concerns and talk about development is what we're understanding. Straight after that, Prime Minister will have a meeting with bishops in Kerala. Some of the major Christian community leaders have been called for a personal meeting with Prime Minister that will take place after this. Tomorrow he will be travelling to the capital Thiruvananthapuram, where he'll flag off Kerala's first Vande Bharat Express, followed by he'll inaugurate the first water metro service in the country, which is the Kochi water metro service in Thiruvananthapuram. He'll inaugurate it there, and various other projects. That is the agenda for the day. Development is what the Modi Sarkar is showing or keeping in front of the Kerala people to watch.
Shibi, we'll keep coming back to you. The Prime Minister is now in his vehicle as he continues that final stretch of this brief public engagement. All of the people in those crowds will have gotten a short glimpse of the Prime Minister. Even now, he's not gotten into his vehicle. He's standing on the footboard of his vehicle. The showers of petals are still coming. The SPG surrounding his vehicle as it makes those final few meters before his next public interaction at the Sacred Heart College grounds there with youth. It's called Yuvam 2023. Let's just get some sound in from the ground, the mood and atmosphere there in Kochi.
ये दृश्य जो हमारे दर्शक देख रहे हैं, राजेश राज देख रहे हैं, जैसे सड़कों को गेंदे के फूल से पाट दिया गया है. लगातार जो गाड़ी के शीशे हैं वो साफ करने पड़ रहे हैं. प्रधानमंत्री स्वयं पैदल चलकर लोगों के बीच में पहुंचे हैं और अब वो अपनी गाड़ी पर एक तरह से गेट पर बाहर जिसको कहते हैं, जिस तरह से वो हाथ पकड़कर बाहर एक तरह से निकलकर खड़े हो जाते हैं, वो दृश्य अब देखने को मिल रहे हैं. लगातार प्रधानमंत्री के स्वागत में फूलों की बारिश हो रही है और ये स्वतः स्फूर्त है. जो लोग आए हैं यहाँ पर वो देखने को मिल रहा है. जिस तरह से जो आनंद, जो उत्साह, जिस तरह से लोग प्रफुल्लित हैं, वो देखने को बनता है. And
for the rest of our coverage, while we're staying live here in Kerala, handing you over now to Akshita. Akshita, what did you think of the Prime Minister's look?
Namaskaram, Shiv. As expected, Prime Minister Modi there in Kerala, dressed in the traditional mundu, and it's got BJP supporters. They're absolutely thrilled in Kochi. And the Prime Minister's always done this. When he lands in, let's say, Chennai, he ensures that he dresses to the local sentiments, highlighting the local tradition, highlighting the local culture. That's essentially set the tone for his entire Kerala visit. You see the massive roadshow, most of it, by the way, the Prime Minister covered on foot. And this is a 1.8-kilometer roadshow that the Prime Minister has embarked on. Huge crowds that have gathered. These crowds, which, you had people lining up on the streets, throwing flowers, throwing saffron flower petals, incidentally, at the Prime Minister as he made his way through those roads there. You can see that even now, sitting in the vehicle, he's leaning standing out with his, holding on to, in fact, the side of the car, waving at all of the crowds that have gathered. This is the BJP trying to send out a message that we're in with a chance ahead of the 2024 elections in Kerala. There's also a message going across to neighbouring Karnataka, because every rally, every campaign that the Prime Minister currently embarks on, it's with an eye on the neighbouring state Karnataka as well. But right after this, what's on the schedule for the Prime Minister? This is an extremely crucial visit of the Prime Minister to Kerala for a number of reasons. One, because of the roadshow that you see on your screen. Second, right after this, he's going to be part of a Yuva conclave where he's going to be interacting with youngsters of Kerala. One of a kind, initiative, one of a kind interaction, because the Prime Minister has never actually really done this while visiting Kerala the many times that he has. We understand that in this particular meeting, he's going to be talking to them about issues they face, what exactly would they like, the changes they'd like. This youth program has been called Yuvam. It's essentially a conclave where lakhs of youngsters will be there. And after that, of course, the big moment everyone has been talking about, the Prime Minister will be meeting with several prominent church leaders in Kochi. We understand, and the inside track that we're picking up is that the Prime Minister agreed to this. It was an invite,